be dead.
Fucking Dorsies! Please, my son's not a Dorsey! Let him go! You don't look like marshals. Do you work for the Patriarch? Then my boy needs your help. He's going to be executed. And they won't listen when I say he's no killer. Judge Watkins has sentenced my son to die. Austin is all I have left. Everyone else died on the plains. He's a good boy. He never hurt anyone. I'm sure of it. Please, maybe Watkins will listen to you. I don't even know why he was rounded up. He won't tell me. Says he's embarrassed. I know they caught him doing something wrong, but he says he never hurt anyone. If you talk to him, maybe he'll tell you what happened. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than your mother. I know that much. Ostин Pizz, the skinny boy up on the platform. I can't imagine he killed anyone. We've seen enough death on our way out here. He never wanted to hurt anyone, ever. Our family escaped the wars in the East. Tried to make our way across the plains. My husband, my other son, my daughters, one by one, picked off and killed. Now it's just the two of us, and I'm gonna lose him too. Please, help my son! Nearly as Dorsey lives, he'll kill you all!
This kid's going in the pillories
No mercy on your
next.
souls, Colorado.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Just got a lot on my mind. Made a real big mistake. See, the Plains gangs chased my mom and me off our land. We lost everything. Heard this was a place of God-fearing people and thought they'd do right by us. People here kept us out in the cold, letting us starve to death while they sat inside, warm and fed. Then the Dorsies came and gave me some food and some kindness and asked me to do some vandalism. I figured what was the harm? I never killed no one, but I did bust some windows. Marshals caught me doing it, and they said I was working with the Dorsies. Magistrate agreed, so here I am. Mom would have talked me out of it. I should have talked to her first. We were starving. No two ways about it. We were going to die. Dorsies gave us food. I figured a few windows was a worthwhile trade for the bread and meat that saved our lives. I thought it was too harsh, but what happens if I speak up now? Will they come after my mom? I can't take the chance. No, I was never no desperado. Don't rightly know why I let myself get caught up in this. But if I'm to die, I'd at least like to do that right. Gonna do that like a man. Magistrate tells me it's death. They're gonna strip me down and tie me to those things. And they're gonna let the cold do its work. I wonder if it'll hurt.
Wish I could tell you it won't, kid. But that'd be a lie.
Magistrate's a hard man. I wish I could believe it'd work. I'd do anything for someone who could get me free without hurting anybody in the process. Guess I don't have any money to give you, but I'd pay you back in hard work, if you'll have me. I'm used to hard work around the homestead, and I ain't too bad with a gun either. My folks made sure I could hunt and fight. I always dreamed of coming to the big city and being a newspaper man. You know, interviewing people, telling the truth about how things really are. Sure didn't turn out like I hoped. Nice talking to you.
The deluge of blood is coming for you all!
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, I am Magistrate Silas Watkins. I have heard of your arrival, partly from the confessions of the Dorsey Raiders. You'll be pleased to know that I sentenced them to death for their part in the attack on the city and your convoy.
Which reminds me, that Dorsey you requested stand trial? He was clearly guilty and sentenced to the pillories. A waste of my time. He did have this note, though, which you may find interesting.
They are the only instrument of justice we need. Serious offenders die by exposure. Sometimes I might grant a reprieve after frostbiters claim their extremities. Oh, to the contrary. It is more merciful than the punishments meted out by the mountain clans or the gangs of the plains. If we did any less, they would see our nation as weak. And in Colorado, weakness is death. As much as we might long for the world before the bombs, when justice was not so cruel, that is not the world we inhabit.
And let's be honest, Judge. You kind of like it too, don't you?
No, I do not. I only do what the law commands.
And since you're the law around here, I guess you're your own boss.
I follow principles set forth at the second founding of this city, as you know very well. Without our laws and the penalties to enforce them, we're no better than the Wastelanders. For some offenses, we have a work camp on the plains. I don't approve of their methods, but it's outside my jurisdiction. Minor infractions, like public drunkenness or disorderly conduct, are punished by a short stay in the sheriff's lockup. Proceed. His crimes are still severe. He was part of the Dorsey uprising. He caused significant property damage. His actions diverted marshals from responding to reports of attacks, magnifying the harm the Dorseys were able to inflict. Argue a case, and I might show lenience. My concern cannot be for his mother. It can only be for the law. Regrettable, but he chose this path, not I. Mercy. I do not see the word in my law books. The Patriarch has charged me to dispense justice, not mercy. You wish to compensate the city and the owners of the damaged properties for their losses. I can facilitate that. That's the price in Colorado dollars. Understand that the law cannot wait until you have the means to pay. The boy will go to the pillory soon. His time is short. Proceed. Indeed.
We'll have our revenge. You ain't seen the last of us.
The deluge of blood is coming for you all!
We should build some more watchtowers around the garden. Dorsey slipped right past the ones we've got.
Yeah, but we'll need to pull some resources from another district to do it.
Huh. Sheriff won't like that.
Too old to fight the Dorseys, they said. Ha!
Must be drunker than I thought. Did someone yell something about Dorseys?
We'll have our revenge! You ain't seen the last of us!
Don't bullshit me this time, Dorsey. How'd you get into the city?
Fucking Highlander! Done told you them gates were left open!
Then who let you in? Give me a name.
Don't know, goddammit, I told you!
What were you supposed to do when you got inside?
Grab them Hunter family assholes for hostages. Many as we could. Especially that Percy Weston and his kin. Neely just wanted them bad. Then hit the palace. Kill the patriarch.
Is that it?
Swear to God and the deluge of blood. That's all I know.
I bet we can help you recollect a little more.
I told you what I know. Don't.
Marshals! Finally! I was beginning to think you were never going to help. Hold on now. You aren't marshals. You look like ruffians. Are you here to see the sheriff? Well, I'm first. I've been waiting here on tenterhooks for an hour. Forgive me. That was unkind. I am under considerable duress. My family has been kidnapped by those no-good Dorseys, and the marshals will give me no answers about their situation. They won't even speak to me. I must know how the sheriff intends to rescue them. And when. That may be, but my family is one of the leading families of Colorado-Springs. We have been longtime allies of the Patriarch and supporters of all he stands for. Surely that should be given some consideration. I suppose not. We are all equal in the eyes of God, as they say. I am just frustrated. That is all. It doesn't seem that anything is being done. My name is Lucia Wesson, daughter of Percival Wesson and Maria Reyes of the 100 Families. But now they and my little brother have been kidnapped by those good-for-nothing Dorseys, and I fear for their lives. We are the founding families of Colorado-Springs, descended from the survivalists who came together after the deluge of fire and helped the Patriarch build a stronger Colorado. I'm proud to trace my lineage back before the war on both sides of my family. Someone let the Dorseys into town, and the savages have taken my family hostage, along with a good many others, and retreated to the Garden of the Gods. I came here to demand that Sheriff Daisy immediately mount an expedition to save them, but her marshals keep putting me off. No good traitors, that's what they are. Used to be 100 families, like us, but rotten. Backstabbers, every one of them. At least that's what my father says. They rebelled against the Patriarch before I was born, and were driven from the city. I was always told they were dead and gone. It seems I was misinformed. Well, you look capable enough, but I don't know you from Adam. Why, you might be robbers or bandits. No. Thanks all the same, but I think I'll continue to wait on the proper authorities. Frustrating though that may be. Sheriff Daisy, I will not leave until you speak to me.
Miss Wesson, could you... I'm sorry. I have to talk to these folks. Sorry about that. Are you the Rangers? We were told to expect you. Sheriff Daisy's waiting for you in the back.
Thanks, Torres.
Anytime, Marshal Quan. Reports. Lots of reports. The Dorsey raid really tore up the town. Murder, looting, fires. They even attacked this station. Not that they got very far. It's been exhausting. Don't blink. It's on the back of the box. We keep the peace here in Colorado-Springs. Mostly, though, we do what Sheriff Daisy says. Thanks. If you've got any feedback, be sure to fill out a form.
Well, now you must be the Rangers. I'm the sheriff around here, but you can call me Daisy. Old Saul tells me you're a bunch of badasses, and I ain't one to turn away a badass, especially at a time like this. I reckon you already heard all about the Dorsey raid, so I won't bore you with the details. Suffice it to say, we whooped 'em good, and the survivors are holed up in the Garden of the Gods with a bunch of hostages. Thing is, I lost a lot of marshals. My boys and girls are tired and beat up. You want to make some fast friends around here? You could go into the garden and speak to those Dorseys for us. Maybe find out how the hell they got into the city in the first place.
And by speak, you mean shoot the everlasting shit out of them and save those hostages, right, boss?
Quan, I hear you're some fancy liaison now. Old Saul taking my people without even asking? How dare he? Anyway, yes, you rascal. That's exactly what I mean. But question him first, you hear?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Rangers, I'd love to trade war stories, but I've got marshals calling me left and right, dead folks lying in the streets, and reports of Dorsey stragglers all over the city. Let's circle back later. Now, the Dorsey's hostages are from the fancy side of town. 100 families folk. Try to get 'em out of there alive, or I'll never hear the fucking end of it. And please, take young Miss Wesson with you. I need that girl out of my hair. In fact, I'm going to insist. I'm telling Lupinski not to let you into the garden without her. But don't worry. She knows which end of the gun the bullets come out of. Go in there and kick some ass, Rangers.
How's your family?
My mom and pa are safe. Still haven't heard from my sister.
She was working near the museum when the attack started.
Jesus. Fucking Dorsies? I'm sure she's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure why the sheriff didn't assign me marshals, but, well, beggars can't be choosers. I am the Miss Wesson she spoke of. Lucia Wesson, daughter of Percival Wesson and Maria Reyes of the 100 Families. As Sheriff Daisy told you, they and some of our neighbors were taken hostage by the Dorseys, and I mean to free them. All of them. So, I am ready when you are. It's a project of the Ward family, a showcase for their know-how. They grow food there using the latest technologies. Colorado-Springs leads the world in science. But there are plenty of places to hide in the garden. The Dorseys could be laying for us anywhere. We shall have to be cautious. Certainly. My father taught me to shoot almost before I could walk, and I'm the best shot in the city.
Oh, it's true. She's a prodigy, all right. Also a pain in the ass.
No. But I have hunted. There's no need to worry that I will be shy about pulling the trigger. I promise, strangers, if it is to save my family, I will not hesitate. I know very little about you, strangers. And even if I trusted you as I would a friend, it is still my family who the Dorseys threaten. I must go. At last.
We ain't Dorsey scum! For our lives. We ain't weak.
Extra, extra! Cowardly attack on Colorado-Springs! Dozens killed by Dorsey thugs! Families taken hostage! New in town? Did you hear about what happened? Sure has. Dorsey's got into the city, but nobody knows how. They started shooting up the place and killed a lot of people. Then they made a run at the Patriarch's palace. Oh, but they couldn't get inside. It took a while, but Sheriff Daisy and the marshals beat him back. Now they're holed up in the Garden of the Gods. Well, some of them, anyway. Others jumped in their trucks and ran for it. Just what I've been told. Back before I was born, they were the family that betrayed the Patriarch and tried to take charge of Colorado. The thing is, everybody thought they'd been dead for years. I mean, there's tons of stories about how the Patriarch wiped them all out. Yep, I work for the Colorado Patriot, only newspaper left in America. We tell people what's happening in the city and what they should think about it. Be careful.
Neelius Dorsey lives. He'll kill y'all.
We came to Colorado-Springs to be safe.
Mom? Oh, sorry. Never mind. Why? What do you want? No, please, I just need you to go away. Please. I don't know. We were heading to Colorado-Springs with a lot of other folks when we got separated. I hurried here as quick as I could after, but I ain't found her anywhere. I keep hoping. There was this smiling lady. She said she had some food, and I could take some back to my mom if I came with her. And next thing I know, she was gonna sell me. She put me in a cage. One of her men took me out of the cage I kicked him as hard as I could and ran. They didn't find me in the dark. And then I saw some refugees and tagged along. Stayed with them till I got here. Bye.
Dorsey scum!
Brave Marshal stop Dorsey's at Palace Gates. Patriarch alive and safe.
Keep a shotgun around if and I don't use it.
Well, you know who goes out? Garden of the Gods is just north of Market Square. Marshal Lupinski should be out front.
Man? A scrawny old man with a shotgun? Hang on, I'm not that old.
Oh, Josiah, just put down the gun and let someone else handle this, all right?
Consarn it! You Dorsey peckerheads, get on out of there!
Hush up now, Josiah. You can't go in there alone. They'll kill you.
You think I can't handle myself? I've put down worse than these in my time.
Oh, since when? You've been a shopkeeper all your life. Will you help me talk some sense into this old fool? If he goes after those Dorseys, he'll get himself killed.
Some of those Dorsey bastards are hiding out in my shop. My shop! Finest clothing store in the whole dang town. So I'm going in after them. They're too busy. Besides, a man should be able to protect his own shop.
Thank you. Keep an old man from killing himself, will you?
Killing myself? Can't you pretend to have some faith in me, Martha? Especially in front of these soldier types? You do this, you'll get a nice discount at the shop. Assuming I still have a shop by the time it's all over. Well, go on then.
Shit, Hotlanders! We thought you was all dead! Back off! I done told you! Don't come any closer! No way! Got these fuckers! I'm coming to
Thank you kindly.
learning experience.
Thank you kindly.
I knew you had the look of soldiers about you.
Phew, boy. Thanks again for taking care of those Dorsies. Say, if you got hurt in that scrap, you should see a friend of mine, Doc Parker. He set up a clinic in the Arapahoe garage, just outside the city gate. And here, a little token of our appreciation. Come on back after we reopen the shop.
By order of the Patriarch, only authorized personnel are to pass this gate. An invitation from the head of a family or authorization from the Patriarch. Until you have that, the gate stays closed. Broadmoor Heights and the Patriarch's Palace. The attack on the city has everyone nervous. Until that's all settled down, Patriarch's orders are in effect. Authorized business only. Good day.
This here's Market Square. The Arapahoe garage is just outside the city gates. My old friend Doc Parker set up a clinic there. Parker's the best doctor in town. Be a hell of an asset if we can persuade him to join the Rangers. Careful, though. The doc is prickly at the best of times. And these are not the best of times.
Snapping Jimmy Bob's still standing. Dorsies or no Dorsies. You think a little raid would stop snapping Jimmy Bob? No siree. Oh, hey! New faces? Let me know if you need to restock. I hear there's still some Dorsies in the city. That's snapping Jimmy Bob, thank you. Not that much to tell. My dad was a trader, and a good one, and now I'm a trader, and a good one. Might seem boring to wandering muscle like yourself, but I like it. Oh, that's my prized possession. A genuine pre-apocalypse, fully functional microwave. I can cook up some truly gourmet delicacies with it. But the damn power got cut in the fighting. It'll take the city weeks to fix it. Let's.
what these marshals and Dorsies got on them.
Those marshals were colleagues of mine. I'm gonna guess you didn't kill them, but you need to put all those valuables back and walk away.
Fat chance. We got guns and ammo now. We don't take orders from marshals no more.
Live fire!
I can hardly... Oh my goodness.
It's humming again. Thanks for getting the power hook back up to my microwave. I've got some real treats I couldn't sell without it. Power line must have gotten busted up in the fighting. Let's.
Came here for every class trip we ever had. Is Buchanan a man?
Yeah, this whole place is a gloss. But who wants to hear all the ugly details?
Oxygen asks potassium and sodium if they want to see a movie.
Okay. Nah?
You heard that one before.
Greetings, visitors. My name is Junko Murayama, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Saul Buchanan Colorado Heritage Museum. You're about to embark on a journey through history as we share with you the people and events that made Colorado what it is today. Our new and improved animatronic exhibits will bring history to life as you learn about the rise of the Patriarch, the unification of the 100 families, and their battles against the Monster Army and the Plains Gangs. The staff of the Colorado Heritage Museum asks that you do not interact with the exhibits. Ready? Let's go!
Why, hello there. My name's Old Baldy, and this here is the Saul Buchanan Colorado Heritage Museum. Me and my friends here dedicated to telling the story of old Saul Buchanan and the refounding of the great state of Colorado, which is just the first step in Saul's plan. Now, just stroll from stage to stage and
We'll tell you the story along the way. Any questions before you go? Well, I don't want to spoil the show, but it begins with Saul's humble start in this very town, and it follows the trials and tribulations he faced uniting the 100 families. And, in case you were worried, it's suitable for children of all ages. Stop! Step back! It is against museum rules to fondle the displays. Saul Buchanan is far too modest for such egotistical shenanigans. No, sir, it was the 100 families who built this place as a gracious thank you to the Patriarch for look just like my picture, don't I? Now, wait a minute. Let me give you my good side. There you go. I gotta admit, though, I'm looking better than I was. Life's been pretty tough on old Baldy since the world went to pot. Lost a lot of feathers. But now that Patriarch Buchanan's rebuilding America, I'm starting to feel like my old self again. Great! Then on with the show. Youngest son of the Buchanan clan. Brave survivors of the fall of man. Baby Saul grew straight like a tree, could swing a sledgehammer before he was 3. Learned to read and write before he could walk. Finished all his schooling before he could talk. Showed all his teachers a thing or two when he taught them that a fact didn't have to be true. Is Buchanan a man? Oh boy, what a man! The strongest of men! You can say that again.
Then came the gangs of the eastern plains, hoping to rob us of our worldly gains. Old Saul saw him coming and he rolled up his sleeves. He said, "You're all nothing but a pack of thieves." Strong as an ox at 70, he faced down the savages again and again. Then drove them back to the desolate east and secured for Colorado an endless peace. Is Buchanan a man? Oh boy, what a man. The truest of men. The 100 families came to see Springs, and all fell
Chris,
fighting
do
over
you know why the
frivolous
noble
things. Till
gas
Saul
cried?
raised their hands to the
Because their only friends are gone.
who were waiting to die like kings.
A
He
classic.
said that the only way to save the land was to bury the hatchet and all shake hands. So they signed the treaty in a single day and begged him to lead them and show them the way. Is Buchanan a man? Oh boy, what a man. The truest of men. You can say that again. With the families behind him, Saul went to war and fought all the monsters of Satan's bazaar. He lined them all up and he cut them all down till Flab the inhaler surrendered his crown. Buchanan spared Flab and made him a deal. If your boys work for me, they'll never miss a meal. Flab signed up on the dotted line. Now his monsters keep us safe in the evening time. Is Buchanan
My
a
uncle tells me you're a man of questionable morals, Mr. Kwan.
Well, that's why I'm on the payroll. Somebody's got to get their hands dirty, so good folk like you can keep your hearts clean.
That's not how Colorado-Springs works, Mr. Kwan. That's how you work.
Huh. I'm sure you know best.
Well, the Dorseys thought they had a better idea. Believed they could rule by murder and fear. Tried to steal Colorado from our patriarch, but old Saul proved his bite was worse than his bark. Drove out the Dorseys and gave their land to the poor and the needy and the Indians. No mercy for the merciless was his stand, so he hunted the Dorseys to the very last man. Is Buchanan a man? Oh boy, what a man. The truest of men.
matter with you? Don't you know the city's on lockdown? I'm not opening the door to nobody. Go away!
Boss said we're closed till further notice. Boss said we're closed till further notice.
Taiwan. God, it is. We best stay back.
Holy mackerel! Better stay back from my stall. Those goddamn Dorsies dropped a landmine under it. Heck no! That mine is right in front of my stock. Oh, thank God. You'd be doing me a shell of a favor. I could get these Flipper and Marshals to take care of the dang bomb under my stall. Really? That's great news! Here's a little something for you. I'm back in business. Welcome to the freshly reopened Taiwan Jones's Emporium! We have everything you need, just for the asking and, well, the paying. You didn't hear this from me, Franz, but word is there's still Dorsies all around the city waiting to jump innocents such as yourself. Be sure to stock up with me, yeah? Ah, you want to hear about the wide open seas, my trusty vessel, the wild waves crashing the shores? Well, sorry, chums. I'm just here to sell stuff. What would you like? I have no idea what you're talking about, Franz. No. Wish that I did, Franz. Born and raised in Colorado-Springs. Me? I've never even seen a fish in my life. Wondrous creatures, I hear. Sardinely.
Did you see the Dorsies almost blow up the statue?
Yeah, I was hiding under the bookseller's stall. Marshall stopped him at the last second.
Wouldn't be Market Square without it.
Welcome to Mary Milkteeth's Morning After Mart. If you did some things last night that you wish you hadn't, I got you covered. I can clean you up, sober you up, cure your ills, and get you ready to face the new day. Or maybe you got banged up in the Dorsey raid. I can help with that too. What do you need? Just a simple humanitarian who saw a niche that needed filling. Now, are you buying or are you talking? Remedies for regret, children. Headache pills, hair of the dog, pills for the pox, pills for the pain, and first aid kits for those of you who might have started something you couldn't finish. All guaranteed to fill you with pep. Here you go, children. Salvation is at hand.
I hear the Dorseys took 100 families hostages. About time the rich folks suffered with the rest of us.
Watch your asses in the garden. Dorsies are probably dug in good.
Sorry, no admittance. Museum's closed.
There's always something. Ah, hello there. The name's Theodoric Curie. Theo for friends. I need to work on these gate hydraulics, but I always have time to answer some questions, if you're here to learn about our wall. I am the humble son of scientists. My mother and father were on a mission to pursue the possibility of cold fusion. Imagine, nuclear reactions at room temperatures. Sadly, they are gone, and my efforts to follow their work has been stymied by immediate dangers. Perhaps one day, I'll have the time to devote to such a monumental achievement again. It's simply your standard concrete barrier with Tesla-styled electrical deterrence. Not an absolute marvel of what could be done, but if we had oil to power the generators, you'd see the glorious effect of thousands of volts of electricity arcing across it, deterring would-be attackers from approaching. Such a pity. Believe me, I understand. Thank you for stopping by. And back to the wall.
Oh, you want to talk to Mama. She's the one in charge.
Y'all seem nice, but if you got business with the Carters, you should talk to Mama.
You got business with Mama Carter? Ha! No, you don't. Come back when you do. Until then, scram.
Station is nice enough, but convoy life is better.
You wanna set your tire bead real quick and look impressive doing it? I've got a trick. Set the tire on fire, except don't use gasoline. Yeah, well, she's smart enough to know that. Anyway, just a quick shot of flammable agent, a method for putting out the fire, and you're ready to keep going.
Hey, Jimmy. Glad to see you're okay. Dorsies didn't get this far?
Nah, they didn't bother with us. They were after folks wearing badges like yours.
I would have shot those Dorsies dead if they'd walked in my garage. Haven't seen your friends before. If you folks are looking for help with your vehicle, you've come to the right place. This is the Colorado-Springs Arapahoe Station. We got stations all over Colorado, mostly for fixing and supplying our own fleet. But we fix vehicles and sell parts to... I'm the manager, Jimmy Longhaul. That's my crew over there. You need any repairs or alterations to your ride, they're the ones who will put it all together. Best crew in the business. Yeah? Oh, that's Doc Parker. He needed a place to set up his clinic, and we had the space, so... Good thing, too. Those Dorsies hurt a lot of people with that little raid of theirs. We brought as many as we could in here, and Doc's been patching them up as fast as he can. Only got 2 hands, though. The best in Colorado-Springs, no lie. He was the Patriarch's personal physician for a while. Took care of all the hoity-toits in Broadmoor Heights, too. Kinda pissed us off at the time, actually. Nice Arapahoe boy, taking care of the hemorrhoids of the 100 families and turning his back on his own people. Came home in the end, though. Remembered who he was and set up his clinic here. Been serving the working people of Colorado Springs ever since. Co-workers, not employees. I only give the orders 'cause I take the orders, get me? Anyway, Fastback's the old one. Been with the station almost as long as I have. Wrench, the tall fella, thinks he's a heartbreaker, but he's the most sentimental sap you'll ever meet. And Pacer's our newest recruit. Don't mess with her. She's 10 pounds of attitude in a 5-pound bag. At the moment, yeah, I guess so. Driving and wrenching has kind of become the Arapahoe brand. We pride ourselves on being the best mechanics and couriers in the West. Well, except for those of us who run the stations, we mostly live on the road. The people of the convoy, some folks call us. And we've turned that way of life into a business. Arapahoe service stations, Iron Thunder logistics, Arapahoe caravan protection, and so on. While other folks were eating each other in the suburbs or fighting over mansions in Broadmoor Heights, we kept to the wildlands and didn't come back until civilization had reestablished itself. And when we came back, we came with services people needed. Transportation, protection, and repair. Been living well ever since. Sure we do, if they're good enough. Takes a lot of skills to be better than an Arapahoe, though. Anything for your vehicle. Have a look.
Car's a lot like an old dog sometimes. It won't learn new tricks, but that doesn't mean you can't trick it into doing what you want.
You keep saying that, but this truck's dead as good manners.
Tell you what, how about we do a little wager? I bet I can get that truck up and running before the end of the night. If I win, you stop second-guessing me.
And if you lose, you'll have to make lunch every day for a week.
Hey, Doc.
Quan, hope you won't take offense, but I've got no time for niceties. Dying people take precedence.
Understood, brother.
They're in bad shape, and I don't have the time or tools to save them. Thank you. The things I need most are a suture kit, an injury kit, and a medic pack. Got that? These folks are literally dying on us, so don't fuck around. We'll talk more when you come back.
So he runs out and starts...
It isn't bad, is it? Just flesh wound, am I right? You should see the other guy.
I'm thinking of joining. That's the last one.
Let's round him up and bring him back to Doc Parker.
That crew'd be lucky to have you.
Well,
You closed my wound.
hopefully
I won't miss
nothing will go wrong.
staring at my own guts.
Wouldn't stop. Why wouldn't they stop? It hurts. Please.
You ever hear of car gardens?
You mean where they grow these fine automobiles for our personal use?
What's
Don't
going
get
on?
cute.
Did you patch
Sorry.
me up?
Anyway, I didn't know they existed.
Jumped out of a building to escape the Dorseys. Didn't count on the ground stopping me.
You ever hear of car gardens?
You mean where they grow these fine automobiles
My leg!
for our personal use?
You said
Don't
it!
get cute.
Ugh, still hurts
Sorry.
like a bitch. but
Anyway,
Maybe
I
I'll
didn't
actually
know they
walk again.
existed until my pa told me to go down to the...
What now? Long as you don't mind if I keep working while we talk. Name's Parker. Plenty of doctors in Colorado-Springs. I'm one of them.
Well, that doc's underselling himself as always. Ask anyone. They'll tell you. Parker's the best in town. Used to be the Patriarch's personal doctor.
That would be a heck of a recommendation if you were looking for a babysitter. Just wish I had enough medicine to keep this clinic going. Running out of everything. That's an awful charitable spin on what actually happened. But I'm afraid I don't have time to tell you the real story. We used to beat each other up when we were boys. You get to know somebody pretty well when you fight them a few hundred times.
That was always Arapaho kids versus townie kids. Parker was the only Arapaho put up a good fight.
Till I grew up and hit the books. Figured I couldn't make a career of beating people senseless. Quan found a way to do it, though. Dorsey attack. Maybe you heard about it. A suture kit, a medical pack, and an injury kit. Then use them to fix up the other patients. Sure. Good. Thank you. One sec, though. I know I've asked a lot of you, and I'm grateful for what you've already done. But I need one more favor. You see this girl? She was shot in the head, but there's no exit wound. The bullet's still in there. I need to keep constant watch on her, and I need cleaner, safer facilities to do it. If you let me use the facilities at your HQ, I'll do anything. I'll work as your doctor. I'll fucking juggle for you, Rangers. I just need to save her. What do you say? Thank you. Thank you. You've saved her life. And mine. Need anything before I get my stuff together? Of course. Let's have a look. Good luck.
Let's hope you got another career plan. I give it another 3 months before Payson leaves you in the dust.
And so order she.
I heard we had some new arrivals wash on in. Military types, they said. Can't really see the difference between you and the ordinary class of much as I'd love to shoot the shit with you tryhards. Sheriff Daisy said to let you go on in. So, go on. Give them Dorsies some hell.
Marshal Lupinski, I expect you to moderate your language in the presence of a young lady.
My apologies, Miss Weston. I meant no disrespect. Best of luck to you and your companions here. It's the Garden of the Gods. Rocks, experimental farms, and now those Dorsies. Nope. No room for amateurs in this town. You hear? No room.
Hello? Whoever just came up from the city, come in. This is Bellamy Ward. There are Dorsies all over the garden. I'm pinned down on a high ledge. Can you reach me? Oh, thank God. I'll call out if I see you, as long as it's safe.
Hey! You on the ledge! Hands up!
Oh no, they found me.
Or we're coming up!
You don't want to do that!
Oh, yeah? Why not?
We're all dead!
Okay. Hey! Where did you come from? Back the hell off, or you're dead!
They're right about the food and the ammo, cousin. And I don't think Nelius is coming back for us.
Fine, we'll just put our weapons down, okay? Nice and slow. I guess the deluge ain't coming today. We'll go quiet, just don't give us to the marshals, please?
This is Ranger HQ, reading you loud and clear, November 1. What's your status? They'll be happy to hear that, November 1. Over and out.
Oh, God. Did the Patriarch send you? I'm sorry. I need to warn you. The Dorsies are gathering up ahead between the Gateway Rocks.
Bellamy! Bellamy, look at me. Have you seen my family? Are they here?
Lucia? I thought you were with your family. Oh, thank God you're not. Thank God. They went up ahead with their hostages, but... Lucia, I heard gunfire and screaming. You need to be ready for the worst.
If they've done anything to my people, I'm going to end them all.
Please do.
I'll tell whatever I can to help. It's not much, but... My name is Bellamy Ward. I'm a scientist. I invented the solar collectors and experimental farms on top. I was calibrating the solar arrays when the Dorseys came through here, herding their hostages with them. So I hid up here and kept out of sight. They're savages. Animals. They beat those people. Laughed at them when they begged for their lives. The kids were screaming, so they beat them too. Then they dragged them all further on, toward their camp. God, no, I was stalling for time. If I had a few hours and the right chemicals, though, I could have prepared quite a surprise for them. A while ago, we found some old, non-functional solar panels from before the deluge of fire. I couldn't figure out their function at first, until I recovered a microcircuitry board and developed a laser spectrography process. I realized that I could help solve some of the electrical generation issues that have always been a problem for the city. The PALs, photon amplification lenses. They harness and focus the ambient light. It's fascinating, actually. They polarize the waves and create constructive interference. Normally, they maintain a stable temperature for the plants, but they can be adjusted to help power the solar collectors, or even thaw frozen components. I once coupled a PAL with a dynamic cross-photon matrix. I was trying to cook some bison steaks, but it incinerated the whole fire pit, melted the entire grill. Goes to show what can happen if you put a decimal in the wrong place. I think they took everyone to their camp, just past the Gateway Rocks.
What about my family, Belle?
Last I saw them, they were all right. They were scared and a little banged up, but they were still alive. You saved my life. I won't forget it.
This is Bellamy Ward, PAL operational test number, 110. I've adjusted the angle of the solar collectors by 3.12 degrees to improve the energy transmission from the photonic amplification lenses. I've also attached a more sensitive voltmeter to the test panel, so I can hopefully get a more accurate reading of the conversion rate. Everything's set. Here we go. The photon amplification lenses are operating at 60% ambient light, approximately what we would expect on a typical day in Colorado-Springs. Checking the voltmeter now. Yes, it's working! Energy storage is 12% above norm. This is better than I hoped. Now, if I can get the storage rate up to 25%, we'll have surplus power running into the batteries each day. For the first time since the deluge of fire, Colorado-Springs will have all the electricity it needs. I can't wait to show this to Theo and Megan. They'll be so excited.
Not the best way to begin an engagement. learning experience.
I shot. You all heard those shots. Somebody's coming.
Shit. Think it's the marshals?
Marshals are too gutless to follow us in here. Whoever it is, they got balls.
Not the best way to begin an engagement.
No. Can't see a thing. Who would do this? Who would murder families and children? Who would burn them so badly that we can't even tell? I don't know if they're here or not. I can't... Come on. Let's find the monsters who did this. That was one of the Skylar girls, I think. Seems like we ought to leave her alone. Feels an awful lot like grave robbing.
I'm Isaac Rid. On behalf of all of us here, I want to offer our unconditional surrender. As proof of our goodwill, I want to tell you that the culprits got into town with help from Farron Brygo's organization, and...
Isaac, how could you? How could you throw in with these people? How could you let them take my family? Where are my parents and my little brother?
They're in the grave you passed on the way here. They didn't suffer, Lucia. I promise. Baby, look. I didn't mean it to go this way. I tried to stop them. I really did. I begged.
Stop talking right now.
We thought we were in the right. The Dorseys promised that we could take down the Patriarch. They didn't say anything about murdering hostages.
What about all the other people they killed? Or was that part okay with you, Isaac?
It was Nelius Dorsey. He went looking for your family, Lucia. Your family especially. That's why I got you out of your house before the raid. I didn't want anything to happen to you.
You didn't want anything to happen to me? So you let savages abduct and murder my family. You knew what they meant to me. You knew what their loss would do to me.
But you're still alive, Lucia. Don't you see? You're still alive, and that's what matters most to me. He escaped. He took some vehicles and headed west into the mountains. I don't think he was planning to come back. We've been under the Patriarch's boot for 50 years. We say that the 100 families are in charge, but it's really just his family. Just him. I know you must think I'm a fuzzy-headed idealist, but this society's sick. It needs to change. Farron Brygo's gang helped them get into town. I don't know how or why. And I overheard Nelius say something about Liberty Buchanan, the Patriarch's daughter. I think she's going to attack Colorado-Springs. It sounded like she's gathering an army out in the plains. Something way worse than the Dorseys.
I have heard enough. If your betrayal of my family was not sufficient, your treachery here most certainly is. In the name of the Patriarch, I sentence you.
Please, Lucia. I did this for you. All I ever meant was to help build a better world for you. For all of us. I can't tell you how much I regret. Please don't kill me. Please.
A better way? I can't think of one. Not after what he did to my family. You want to let him walk away from what he's done? I have justice right here in the palm of my hand. I am more than happy to mete it out. I would be delighted to be its instrument.
Thank you.
Come in, November 1. This is Ranger HQ. We're getting reports of shooting in your last known location at Garden of the Gods. What's your status? Over. They'll be happy to hear that, Team November, as am I. Good job getting those sumbitches. Over and out.
You let Isaac live? After he gave aid and comfort to the enemies of the Patriarch? After he helped them kill my family? You let him live? Why arrest him when you killed all those others? What made him special? I'll be the keeper of my own conscience, thank you. I am a grown woman. You have no right to make these decisions for me. Forgive me. I appreciate the thought. This is just difficult. I suppose you're right, though. It is better not to have such a thing weighing on my soul. But the people who are truly responsible, Neelius Dorsey and Liberty Buchanan, I will bring justice to their doors. Will you help me find them? You can count on my guns every step of the way. Of course. Good. You've got yourselves a bargain, Rangers. We should go after Neelius Dorsey first. Isaac said he headed west into the mountains. No doubt he plans to hole up at one of the old resorts from before the bombs fell. I don't think we're ready to face him yet, though. Neelius will be dug in, I expect, and he'll have all his best people with him.
I thought she said she was gonna follow orders, not give them.
For now, we should head back to the sheriff.
Shut your hole. I knew you slept with my wife.
Hey, slow down. I didn't, I swear. I had got bedroom issues. Flat girl don't stand. You know.
Really? Sorry, man. Then who the hell was that in my house?
All I did was ask a few questions. Who? Junko Murayama, sculptor, roboticist, amateur historian, and former curator of the Colorado-Springs Museum of History. Can you believe it? I really fixed up that museum. Before me, just a bunch of dirty old trash we had to go look at 5 times a year in school. I brought the place into the 22nd century, scavenged some old robot parts to rebuild the animatronics, remade all the replicas from scratch, cleaned all the blood off the scar collector weapons. Good stuff. Officially, because of the Dorsi raid. But I think they didn't like the questions I was asking about the Patriarch's history while I was renovating the exhibits. I mean, why else would they tell me they'll be hiring a new curator? What's that got to do with the raid? I don't even know. I sent Diligent Joe, the Patriarch's private secretary, a list of questions about the Dorsi family and the routing of the Plains gangs. Just trying to clear up a few weird Well, he doesn't get back to me, and then the raid happens, and I'm out on my ass with no explanation. That's weird, right? Heck yeah, I am. It was a real sight to behold before they shut it down. Animatronic exhibits portraying our great history, true relics of our struggle to survive, displayed for all to see. Authentic handmade replicas of lost treasures. Just some real A+ quality work, if I do say so myself. Oh yeah? What'd you think? Right? Thank you. Nice to be appreciated. I mean, I didn't do it for the praise, but if you want to keep on, I'm way into that. That's rad! Heck yes! Thank you! You won't regret this. You're over at the old airbase, right? I've read all about that place. I'll see you back at your HQ.
City's really humming again, huh?
It's great to see.
Just wish they'd rebuild my house.
Howdy. When the world expired, we were forced to protecting the needy and fighting the great.
Are you mercs or working with the marshals?
Or there's wrongs to be righting.
Is it just me, or are the marshals cracking down on folks harder than before the Dorsi's attack?
Ixnay on the Arshals, man.
They've been real assholes. I mean, they threw my brother up against the wall just for spitting on the ground.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Look, Martha, it's our friends who helped us save the shop. What can I do for you? We've got some discounts with your name on them. Hardly a crossword between us. Been making clothes and adornments for the 100 families for 30 years. Most of them won't buy from anybody else. Of course, we sell to regular folks, too. Plenty of less expensive items in stock. Repurposed or restored garments, mostly.
you just give
Get
me
your
a...
Colorado Patriot
hickey?
here, hot off the press.
Ew, Troy! Those old people are looking at us?
It's okay, Brandy. I got this. Get lost, you perv douchebags. Before I... Wait a minute. You're old, right? Can you get us some beers? Stupid Mary Milkteeth won't sell us any. Too young, she says. Holy shit. Can you be any more lame?
Just... ew!
Lame. Hey, you're the Rangers! Well, first time we met, I didn't know you were in town. Heard all about you now. Well, it's the only safe place we've got. Vegas is gone. The robots saw to that. Refugees say the East is dying too. Might still be a couple nations out there. Motor City Combine and Buckeye Republic. But they were at war last we heard. Colorado's the only safe place left. And we have the Patriarch to thank. That makes this town the best place in the world, near as I can tell, even if it isn't perfect. You bet. Extra, extra! Cowardly attack on Colorado-Springs!
Either of you ever worry about being hitched to a pillory?
Hell yeah. I've always got a smile for the marshals and never piss them off. I stay in line.
Horrible way to go. Of course, if you're up there, you deserve it.
What have I done?
You're a worm, Isaac. I should have killed you.
I think we should pull some marshals from Broadmoor.
What can I do for you, Rangers? Thanks. If you've got any feedback, be sure to fill out a form.
But then, who'd make the precious 100 families feel all warm and snug?
Yeah, they'd never let that happen.
I like you already, Rangers. I asked for a favor, and you came through for me. Not only that, but you sent me Isaac Reed and his trader friends, all cuffed up and looking pretty. Seems to me that if somebody commits a crime in Colorado Springs, they should face Colorado Springs justice. I'm glad we see eye to eye on that. Some of my marshals weren't so sure about you. Damn right. It's in all our interests to keep this city safe. Now, before I forget, let me introduce you to Hope Emerson. She heard all about you coming to town and she wants to join up. Ain't that right, Hope?
Pleasure's mine, Rangers. Ran the lockup in a little town called Amity on Colorado's eastern border. Figured I could do the same thing for you at your HQ, assuming you'll be arresting people now and then.
Amity got flattened by the scar collectors a while back, so Hope came west. Been trying to get her to join the marshals ever since, but she keeps turning me down flat. We have some differences when it comes to crime and punishment. But that aside, she's smart, honorable, and should be an asset to your organization.
Great. I'll head over to Ranger headquarters in a bit and start fixing up your brig. I can't think of a better way to serve than to ensure that our justice is fair, even to those who transgressed against it.
So, back to business. Did you find out how the Dorsis got into town? Well, since you already dealt with Isaac, let's concentrate on Brago. I'll never understand why the Patriarch let that rat set up shop here. Been nothing but trouble, so him making a deal with the Dorsis doesn't surprise me in the least. In fact, I had a hunch he might be involved, so I sent my best man over to his nightclub, the Little Vegas, to search for a connection. Haven't heard back from him, though, and I'm a little worried. Say, what if I asked you Rangers to go to Little Vegas and check up on him? And if you happen to find proof that Brago helped the Dorsis while you're there, well, feel free to cuff the bastard and haul him in. Take down Brago for me, and I'll make sure your HQ gets the best-equipped armory this side of the Rockies. Guns, ammo, armor, the whole shebang. The marshal I sent to the Little Vegas is named Delgado. Family man and the best inspector I've got. Keep him safe and I'll owe you another favor. Always a pleasure, Rangers. Got any good news, Rangers? I sure could use some. What's on your mind? That's good old-fashioned Colorado justice. We slap lawbreakers into the pillories, strip 'em down, and let the cold do its work. You can't go easy on traitors and criminals, not in a place like this. Not with the Wasteland right outside the walls. Only thing keeping us civilized is the law, and folks need to see what happens to people who break it. Best damn outfit in the city. We're independent and tough as hell. Only person we answer to is the Patriarch. No offense to the 100 families, but they're not welcome in the Marshals. My boys and girls are ordinary folks who had to struggle for what they've got. That's the way I like it. Oh, I've been here a long time, Rangers. Started out as the Patriarch's bodyguard about 30 years ago, and he liked my style. Guess I was a cute young thing back then. After I helped him whoop the Plains gangs, he put me in charge of the Marshals. Been doing the job ever since. Never gave him cause to complain. I keep things nice and peaceful around here. All right. What have you got for me? Roger that.
Thanks for talking to me, Rangers. And I'm grateful to Daisy for the introduction. I hope I can be of some use to you. I thought there might be a bit of a job interview first, but if you're ready for me, I'm ready to start. Certainly. What do you want to know? No. And the people who do are usually sickos who get off on bossing around convicts and making them squirm, right? Well, that's not me. I promise you. I became a jailer after getting locked up myself when I was a kid and seeing the job done wrong. We expect the law to be fair, from arrest to trial to sentence, but too many people forget that incarceration is part of the process. A big part, and often the least fair. People in jail are there to learn from their mistakes. In a bad jail, all they learn is to mistrust the law and fear their fellow man. I want to make your jail a good jail where everyone is treated fairly, regardless of their crime, and everyone has a chance to improve themselves. It's not there anymore. Scar collectors rolled through and took everybody they could catch for slaves. Then they burned the place to the ground. I led a caravan of survivors to Colorado-Springs, and I've been here ever since. I respect Daisy's determination to keep Colorado-Springs safe, but I don't agree with her methods. They're too savage. Take the pillories, for example. The marshals shackle prisoners into them for the smallest of crimes and leave them exposed to the cold for hours. They lose fingers and noses and ears to frostbite, if they survive at all. What does that accomplish, other than cripple them and mark them as criminals for life? After that, how can they become good citizens? How are they to believe that the law is fair? It turns my stomach. Daisy tells me you've been tireless fighters for justice in Arizona, settling disputes, breaking up gangs and militias, putting down a plague of robots, and that you're here in Colorado for the most noble of reasons, to save your people back home after a terrible disaster. I hope she wasn't blowing smoke, because she made you sound just like the sort of heroes I want to work for. Thank you. I'll be there as soon as I make my goodbyes here. Looking forward to working with you.
Got any good news, Rangers? I sure could use some. Roger that.
Rangers, what brings you here? Indeed. Rangers, what brings you here? Excellent. This is the cost in Colorado dollars. Understand that the law cannot wait until you have the means to pay. The boy will go to the pillory soon. His time is short. I am not certain you truly understand the Patriarch's justice, but your words ring true. Perhaps death is too severe a punishment. This is irregular, but it is within my powers to grant you full custody of Ostin Pizz. Any further infractions he may commit are the Ranger's responsibility. You should inform the boy. Best he hears the good news from you.
Still here. Not looking forward to what comes next. What? Are you serious? You really saved my life and I get to be a ranger? Soon as they let me free, I'm going straight to your headquarters. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Clean guns, scrub toilets, you name it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You Rangers are heroes. I'm gonna tell everyone what you did for my son. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Rangers. This is Gideon Reyes. I'm addressing you from Broadmoor Heights. The Patriarch has made it known that you are in need of logistical support. I can happily make a few calls, speak to a few people. In exchange, I'd like to ask that you hear me out on a proposition. It's not a thing I really do, this ransoming of aid, but these are unusual circumstances, and Colorado-Springs' future hangs in the metaphorical balance. I wouldn't be asking for such an exchange if I wasn't desperate. I'll be at the church in Broadmoor Heights, and I'll tell the marshals to let you through. Come find me here.